What can all of us and our viewers and our listeners gain if we all left judgment at the door?
If we are not all carrying around judgment, it opens up space for compassion, acceptance, love, and it relieves a lot of anxiety and comparison and resentment. And maybe you guys have experienced that where you see someone with a political sign in their yard that you don't agree with. And you have this twinge of, well, I know we're not friends. And if...
No, I've never felt that way, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Or what sort of a sign that would be, right? You have no idea.
Yeah.
Especially now, right? So if you are not, in this specific example, passing judgment based on whatever political sign is sitting there, and you can actually look past that and see what a beautiful Christmas display is in their front yard, then you can appreciate this beautiful thing that is also part of the same person. We'll find more connection if we are not passing judgment on those things that we disagree with or that are different than us. It really is just bridging that gap, which is what all of us need to be doing right now, especially right now, and finding our commonalities instead of looking for reasons to be disagreeable with someone. There are so many people walking around with that anger and resentment, and we refer to it as a chip on their shoulder. And I know people, and I have people in my family that are that way, that just have a chip on their shoulder about everything, and it's always just bubbling right below the surface. They're ready to explode.
Yeah.
They're ready.
Yeah, it's ready to just go off at any minute. Trigger.
They're looking for a target. And if you are not carrying that around, think of all the wonderful experiences that you're opening yourself up to and all of the good things you're waiting to receive if you are in a mindset of acceptance and compassion and brotherhood instead of looking for people to be disagreeable with.
I think between like your thought process on like how judgment has impacted your life, personal and professional, and motivated you, and then I like tie it into like the thought process with Brene Brown, where she's like, if we can go into something knowing that maybe that person is doing the best that they can. So maybe it's not the choice that we would have made, and maybe it is not the lifestyle we would have lived. Maybe it is not anything, the career we would have chose, or the degree we would have, gone to school for, all these things. It wouldn't have been what we would have done, but maybe that's the best that person is doing. And I think that has helped to trigger and also has helped to instill curiosity, which you talked about too, where it's like, be curious as opposed to just letting that judgment sink in. And I think when we can, when we've left that at the door, it has made a huge impact on just how you deal with people and interpersonal communication, just in general.
And that's such a Brene Brown thing. And the thing that in all of her works that I've read, the thing that has stuck with me the most is if you can approach a situation with curiosity and love, you will get the best possible outcome. And that's really what we all want. Everything is not going to be rainbows and sunshines, but if we can go into it and get the best possible outcome, even if it's a shit Sunday, you're only going to get that with curiosity and love.
So as we talked about before, you and I have been friends since we were in high school, but from a professional level, I think about the number of times that, I own a marketing firm, and we deal extensively with public relations and marketing. So sometimes we have people that are, their business is in the midst of crisis, or something happens and it's not good. And I feel like we don't always know the answers, everything. We just, we have to rely on that team aspect. And I think about the number of times that I have told you, like, I need your perspective on this, And it's not that we are masters in everything that we do, but I feel like when we can help each other out, that also kind of stems and helps to continue to foster that. So I think that there's been a lot of times I've been like, I need assistance with this, because maybe my instinct is kind of be like, well, judgment-wise is, why didn't you listen to us the first time? Or, man, we already talked about this the last 6 months, and now we're right back in that same situation. And I think that is a huge part of the reason I contact you about stuff, because you're like, okay, go at it like this. Let's be curious about X, Y, and Z. And I think that has helped from a professional standpoint. So it's like judgment is in everything we do, personal and professional, and we see that every day.
Well, and one of the things we say to our kids, are you using good judgment? Are you using good judgment? Is that a good choice?
I feel like it's something that it doesn't matter what stage we're at. You know, like children, like you said, children use judgment. We talk about it, and it can be a good and a bad thing. And then just as we continue to move through life, but I do think that it's good that you bring it up, that it's something that it can be left at the door and for the better, and it can change all of our lives, and it can change our relationships, and you touched upon that too.